Okay then guys, since my first video came out, there's been a few comments about I've tried microgreens and gave up because of mould everywhere. Now you've got to be really sure that it is mould, because some seeds, particularly these radish, look, if you get in there and look at the roots, it does look like there's mould all over the surface, but it's not. Let's try and get a close-up one. It's the hair roots. Let me try and... No, that didn't work. There we are. Can you see right around the base of the root? There is very, 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 very fine hairs. In fact, they are the roots. And if they mat all over the surface, just like that little cluster in the corner there, it does look like mould, but it's not. It's the hair roots, the very, very fine roots. Some seeds seem to be more prone to it than others. There's a little bit there in the Mizuna. There's not an awful lot in the Cress. So don't be despondent. Have a fertile around in the bottom, because it could just be the very, very, very fine micro roots. Hope that's helped again, guys. Okay guys, it is now day 10 after sowing the microgreens, and I think you'll agree they look pretty good. So what I'm going to do, even though there's probably a bit more growth in them, I'm going to cut them now because I want to weigh them to see if there's any difference to when I sow on the matting. Yeah. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually weigh the bowl, because if it zeroes itself off after I've done it, I won't know what's what, will I? So it's 120, so right on there. Okay then. Oops. Right, there's two ways of doing this. Shall I take it out of there? No, that's right. Let's have a look at the roots a minute. Oh, lovely roots. Yeah, very good. I'm going to leave them in there actually, like that. I gave this one very sparing water about 3 days ago when they were really growing. Right, so there's two ways of cutting this. You can use scissors. Now I used to have a long pair of scissors and they got right across. So I'll do a bit with scissors and I'll do a bit with a knife. Now ideally you'd want one of those big long bread knives, or one of the ones they use for cutting off the kebabs, you know what I mean? And that, you can just slide it along the top of the tray and it's done. So I'll do a bit of each. So let's have a look. Cress first, I reckon. I'm going to try not to get any soil in, whilst at the same time cutting as low as possible. Normally you'd give it a quick brush over the top to get all the seed husks off, but there aren't really that many. There's a few on the radish around the edges. So I'll do half with a knife, half with the scissors, half with the knife. See how we get on. Oh, it smells lovely. And just like the old childhood egg and cress sandwiches. Right. Yeah, it's probably easier with a knife actually. Yeah, it is a lot easier. If I do this properly, you know, if I do decide to take up doing this. Still undecided, still trying to work out the prices and the legal requirements and that. But we'll see. If I don't, I've still got plenty of gear for myself, haven't I? Because normally I wouldn't be this careful, because you go straight across the tray, wouldn't you? Or take as many as you need for that day. They're just coming into their first true leaf stage as well, so well, that'll do, I reckon. Let's get rid of these few extra tenuous ones here. There we are. With the scissors, so we don't mix them up too much. You have to be careful mixing them up, mind, unless you declare it, because if you're growing, say, celery is one of the, allergen foods, isn't it? Right, so that's the cress. And I'm going to write it on here actually. I'm going to write it on here and then come do it all again later. So it's 120, that's 155, so we've got 35 grams of cress. That's not an awful lot, it's a third of a tray. Yeah. Right, let's go and get a thing to put that in. Cress 35. Right, next up we have Mizuna. In fact, I think, yeah, mustard's an allergen as well, isn't it? So, yes it is. They don't look too bad. Look, they were a little bit weak on this side here, but that's where they weren't pushed down very well. So, yeah, definitely easier with a knife. I'll do it all with a knife this time if I can, till the end. Just about to start raining, mate. Oh, I don't believe it. So, 0, 26. Not very good this, is it? Probably cut them off a bit too early actually, but I want to do 10 days because that's what I want to do. Right, these will be a bit heavier. Because they aren't much bigger. And they're easier to hold and cut. I'm going to taste these for you in a second as well. I might have to postpone the sowing, guys. He's just started spitting. Believe it. See, what you can do as well, if they grew a little bit longer, I don't know if you can see this, I'll focus on this, you can actually grab them and pull the soil up and cut so close to the soil. But mine's a little bit deep in the tray at the moment. So maybe a little bit, if I use soil in future, maybe a compost rather, maybe that little bit more in to raise up a little bit. So we'll see, we're there. Right, I was going to show you what looks like mould, but there's none there now. It's not mould anyway, like I said, it's these fibrous roots, but I got that on another part of the video. So I'm happy with that. Now, what you do with this now is you can either compost it, or if you're clever, and I'm not going to be able to do this I don't think today, maybe, but if you can pull, what you can do basically, I'm going to try and do it, hang on. Let's try it this way, hang on. There we go. Right. What you do now is you just tip that onto a bed somewhere, upside down, so the roots are touching, and any seeds that haven't germinated, they're going to start growing, and any ones that you cut off that have got a bit of life in them, they'll start growing again, and you'll have radish, cress and mustard. I'm not going to do that this time, because this is going to go into the wormery, because I've got a load of experiments to do. So I'll do that in a second. Oh, doing all that, I forgot to tell you the weight of the radish. Right. Still zeroed. Oh, 109. So there you are, look, so. And I'll add this to my little spreadsheet I'm going to show you for the calculation of the price. I'm going to leave them in there, they ain't going to fit in there, are they? Right. Are we going to have to be able to do this or not? Okay, cress. No point wasting tape. Mustard. And radish, there we are. In the pocket so we don't waste it. Right, it's a small roll, I can't remember the price, but I'll put it down below for you. And it's enough for 2 trays. Now it does say you can reuse it, but I'm not, I thought it was rain, but it's that plastic in my pocket. I'm not going to reuse it, so I'm just going to cut a length, and it is exactly the right size, believe it or not. So, compost is the way to go. That's it. Right. Now, who can remember the weights? Did anyone remember? I didn't. I just went and checked. Cress was 7 grams for 1/3 of a tray. So I'm going to replicate this exactly. God, these are so hard to open. And I've seen people before, what you do is when you've got these Ziplocs, when you cut the top off, you leave a little ridge there and a little ridge there on the opposite sides. So when you open it, you can hold the 2 ridges and pull them apart. There's something I keep forgetting to do. Oh, thank you, teeth. 7 grams. Okay, mustard Mizuna was 5 grams. Let's get those a bit. Five. Radish was 11. Right, take the sticks off again, carefully. Well, what I'm going to do this time, because I know that the bottom of the tray will not press down everywhere, I'm going to use these slates. And I should be able to get at least 2 in. Right, and a piece of plastic. Oh, that's perfect. Right, that'll do. There we are. Now weight can go in there now. Oh, that's heavy. There we are. Well, I outlasted the rain, guys. Right, what I'm going to do is just let this soak up and then tip the excess water out, and no nutrients until they start growing. So I just leave that 10 minutes on the heating mat in the greenhouse and then back in a few days. Loads of microgreens, lovely. Guess what's going in my salad tonight? Right, just before we pack in then, I promised you a taste test. Just a few husks in the cress, not too bad. Ooh, that's peppery. That's nice. Well, while we're on peppery then, I think they all are actually. Bit of Mizuna. That's a delayed heat. That's nice. Got a little bit of a, not grassy, that's the wrong word. Earthy taste to it. And the radish. I've got a feeling I know these are going to be warm. Because they were last time. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I was coughing because I swallowed a bit. It's not. They're not overpowering. They are just like everything a radish is, but smaller, but still as strong. Ah, nice. Right. In the fridge with those. They'll keep for a good couple of days covered. You could spritz them with water if you wanted to, but I'm not going to, because they'll be gone. I'll find some dish to use them in, don't worry. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Like I say, back in a few days.